This puja is about worshipping the 27 constellations, the 9 planets, the 12 signs of the zodiac, and the 4 corner deities that occupy a mandala, and the 8 elephants and their retinue and families that support the mandala. Now, around an individual there are 360 degrees. If you divide the 360 degrees by 12, which are the signs of the zodiac, beginning with Mesha and ending with Meena. Each Rasi is 30 degrees, and the 9 planets traverse through these 30 degrees. Other than this, the 27 constellations that are called Nakshatras, each having 4 divisions that are called padas or feet, are scattered and arranged around the Rasi Mandala. Calculated in this fashion, the 27 nakshatras with 4 padas each have a total of 108 padas. The 108 padas that are distributed within the 12 rasis will mean that each Rasi has 9 padas in it. It may be parts of a constellation. The first 2 may be in one Rasi and the second 2 may be in another Rasi, and so on and so forth. To nullify the negative effects of these grahas and nakshatras, the Rasi Mandala Puja is to be performed. It is never performed anywhere in India, to the best of my knowledge. It has never been performed in the United States except in Rochester, New York. And it gives the participants immense benefits. And this is one reason why we have, and if you come to the puja, you will understand that elaborate arrangements have to be made, elaborate preparations have to be made for the Rasi Mandala Puja.
Sri Matre Namaha. Namaskaram, everyone. Welcome back to our Sacred Rites and Rituals of Sanatana Dharma Learning Series, which is a joint presentation by the Sri Vidya Temple Society, Rochester, New York, USA, and Ashtanga Yoga Mandir, Sri Lanka. A few housekeeping reminders. We kindly ask everyone to keep all microphone cameras turned off throughout the session. Today's session will be a question and answer with Ayya. Please use the question form to share any questions you might have that has been discussed related to the content that has been discussed this far. For those viewing our live stream, our question form can also be found on our webpage, which is srividya.org/aym-lectures. Our sincere apologies for the delay in uploading the materials to the website. They are currently available now for you to access. We will hand it over to Ayya to begin today's session.
Oh. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Tyajedu Sarva Vignopashantaye Sri Mahaganadipadaye Namaha Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. My humble prostrations to my esteemed Guruji, Srila Sri Amritanandanada Saraswati of Devipuram, India. I pray to him that he sits on my open lotus of the heart and speak through me. Namaskaram. Today's session, because of the complex nature of this puja and the many parts that go into making the puja done at the scale that it is done in Rochester, we have decided that we would use this session for questions and answers. So let's begin with the questions, please.
Ayya, so the first question we'll begin with is the Rashi Mandala questions. If you perform Rashi Mandala Puja for a group of people, does the pujari take on other people's karma? And if so, how do you mitigate this?
Now, if you remember, when I introduced the Rasi Mandala, I said that I have merged parts of the Sri Yantra and the Rasi Mandala together for this puja. And the merging, if you notice, occurs from the three devalaya. That means the three concentric circles that are outside of the 16-petal lotus. So when we do the puja, we are invariably going to worship the entrances, the east, the south, west, and north. And when we worship them, we worship both the deities that are guarding the entrance plus the Veda that is responsible for that entrance. When you do that, when you worship the deities guarding the entrance, they will protect you from absorbing anything that is going to happen during the commission of the puja. So don't worry about that. Next question.
Is there a difference in the puja and benefits if you arrange the Navagrahas on the Rashi Mandala according to your chart versus the planetary alignment for that specific day?
Now, the question itself, when you're reading it, when you say, if you arrange the Navagrahas on the Rasi Mandala according to your chart, it means that puja is going to be done exclusively for you and for nobody else. If you place the Rasi on the Rasi Mandala, the planetary alignment for that day, it is a general coverage. One is specific for you, if you place it according to your chart. If it is according to the day, it is for the general public. Okay, so one is job specific, the other one is a general insurance. Next question.
So if you have one kalasha at home, can you place that for your nakshatra and use limes for the rest?
Yes, of course, you can. If you have one kalasa at home, I would place it in the center because of the Devi. I would place it in the center, and all these pujas that you do for the limes, for the entrances, for the ashtatik balakas, all of those will be absorbed in the center kalasa. And then you can bathe in that water and sprinkle it on all the people who are in your household, your family members, and sprinkle it everywhere in the house. Next question.
So this is about Rahu Kalam. Is it important to observe and also be aware of Rahu Kalam every single day?
It can be useful because you will be available, you will be knowledgeable about doing auspicious things during that time. Unless there is Sarpadosham and you are going to do Sarpashanti Puja, at that time it is fine. If you do it during Rahu Kalam, that time Sarpashanti Puja will bear maximum benefit. But other than that, just so that you know that you're not beginning something during this Rahu Kalam in that day, knowing the Rahu Kalam is useful, yes. For your information, every calendar that is produced in South India and in Sri Lanka and Singapore and other places, it will show you the time of the Rahu Kalam, the block calendars that they produce. Okay. Yes, next question.
So in regards to Rahu Kalam itself, when say you're doing a puja or an auspicious event, but the time continues afterwards into Rahu Kalam, maybe you're starting prior to that and it continues into Rahu Kalam, does that mean that the event itself is being observed during an inauspicious time?
Not at all. If you are not beginning some new venture for the day or for some new venture, you have to be aware of the Rahu Kalam, not to begin it during that time. That's all.
Okay. So the next question is, can we light the Rahu Deepam with lemon inside the house?
Okay, let me explain to you what happens. When you turn the lime inside out and take all the fleshy part out of it, and if you turn it, the outside is now inside. And if you pour ghee for the temperature, the limonene in the skin of the lime will evaporate. Now, the picture that they have shown on your right side, that is not a Rahu Deepam. That is just an orange with the inside scooped out, and they are using a wick and oil. The one on the lower left hand is the correct way to do it. Once you have turned the outside skin inwards, what will happen? Limonene will now evaporate. And if you do it in your house, in soft places like curtains, your carpet, the evaporated limonene will come and fall there, and it will, once it has attached itself to whatever that is emanated from your body in the form of sweat and bound it, it will come down. Now, if you do it in a house, you will have to wash your curtains, your carpet, and everything else. If it is a temple, usually the temple floor is washable. So even if you wait for an hour after everything has settled down, at the end of the day, they'll wash the temple. That always happens. When they wash it, it becomes cleaned. In this part of the world, they will probably mop the temple. So with that it goes. Next question. It is always preferable not to light the Rahu Kalam lamp at home.
Okay. The next question is, are there specific gems that help with decreasing planetary effects?
Yes, there are. The 9 gemstones that are associated with the planets. If we can show that slide, please. The 9 gems that are associated with the planets, each of them is for the effect of that particular planet. So there will be 9, and the 9 gemstones will be arranged on the ring that you are wearing, exactly in the shape of the Rasi Mandala, the Navagraha Mandalam. And you should take care that the diamond is facing away from you when you wear it. See, the central ruby is for sun. Now, please remember that these gems, you have to choose them gem quality. They must be the best you can buy if you are going to wear it. And the way they set them, the back portion of the ring where they are set has to be open. If it is closed, it has just become an ornament, but it has to be open. So ruby, when you choose, ask for pigeon blood ruby. Pigeon blood ruby is considered to be the best. It's quite expensive. So you have to use your intelligence. Then moon is pearl. Coral is Mars, Angaraka. Then Buddha is emerald, Mercury. Yellow sapphire is Guru. Diamond. It can be pink diamond or blue diamond. Both of them are okay. That is Venus. Valli, Valli. Then Saturn is blue sapphire. And cat's eye is Ketu. And Gomedaka is Rahu. These are the gemstones that are useful. And the better the quality, the more the effect is. Yes, you can wear them to mitigate the particular effects of a particular planet or a group of planets. They have to be arranged in this order, and the diamond must face the top of the finger, the nails. The diamond should face that. Okay, next question. Any follow-up questions on this?
Yeah, so there are a few. In regards to wearing, like anyone can wear, or like we can wear the Navagraha ring. Does that mean that anyone can wear it? Like females, males, and
females, males, everybody can wear it, but you have to first consult somebody who knows astrology to ask whether you can wear the Navagraha ring. Not everybody is capable of bearing the ability. They don't have the ability to absorb the energy that comes out of it. So you should check with someone, then wear it.
Okay. And should it always be on your ring finger, or are there other places that you can wear these gems?
If it is in the ring finger, it is better. Otherwise, you can wear it in your index finger too.
Okay. And also another question in regards to the gems, you mentioned that the diamond should always be facing away from the person. Is there a reason why the diamond in specific should face away?
Because it is in line with the way the grahams the grahas, the planetary forces are aligned with your body. So when you have the diamond, it should be away from your finger. That is what I was taught. Right. This can set you back by at least $3,000 in Canada. This ring, if it is good, if it is an excellent quality, it will set you back by about $3,000. And I would always advise you, when you're going to get a ring for Navagraha made, get it made. Don't go and just buy it off a shelf. Ask him for a jeweler's loop and go through and look at the ring and look at the stones with a light source behind the stone. Then you will be able to see any flaws, any air bubbles or fissures or cracks like that. If it shows anything, any foreign body, discard it, don't take it. Okay, next question.
So if an individual passes away in the midst of their 7 years of Shani, does it carry over to the next lifetime?
If an individual passes away in the midst of I have no idea. I have no idea. I have not come across anybody who has, I have no idea what happens. Maybe it will, but usually it does not, because you are given a fresh start when you come back again. So it will not carry over for the next.
Okay. Can realized beings experience the effects of Navagrahas?
Yes, they will experience the effects of the Navagrahas, but it will not affect them because they do not have any consciousness about their body. They have gone beyond that. So it won't. Next question.
If your Kundalini is above a certain point, so for example, the Anahata chakra, do the Navagrahas have less of a negative effect on you?
Yes. If you're able to maintain it above the Anahata chakra, the texts say that the Navagrahas will come and do namaskaram to you and keep going. So you have to, the trick though is to have it above the Anahata chakra. If you get too involved in laukikam, in the material aspect of life, it will go down.
The next question is, can Pradosha Puja help for any Rashi who are unable to do Rashi Puja at the temple or at home?
Pradosha Puja will give you so many benefits, just like any puja, like Sri Chakra Puja, Pradosha Puja, Sani Pradosha Puja, Soma Pradosha Puja, like this. There are various. A puja is only as good as your ability to focus. If your mind is all over the place while just your organs, your limbs are performing the puja, then obviously the result is going to be reduced. But if you're going to have absolute concentration, during Pradosham, during Purnami, and when you're doing these pujas, whether it is Sri Yantra Puja or Lagu Puja or Navagraha Puja or Pradosha Puja, it is going to do the same thing. So if you are unable to do the Rasi Puja at home or at the temple, if you are unable to do the puja of Rasi at home, I wonder what that means. It means that does it mean that you are not able to purchase the stuff that is required and get a 4 foot by 4 foot yantra? Or does it mean that you are unwilling to do the puja, extend yourself to do that puja at that time? That's what it means. But if you can do the Pradosha Puja with the proper focus, sure, why not? It will eliminate anything. Next one.
So how important is it to know your nakshatra? What if you don't know the time of birth and you can't make a chart?
How important is it to know your nakshatra? At least if you know your date, you should be able to pinpoint it within a few minutes. And then if you go to a professional astrologer, he will look at your chart and ask you whether there are certain markings in certain parts of your body, birthmarks. With that, you will be able to create the chart. There is actually an exercise called Jataka Suddhi. That means purification of the Jatakam. Purification happens when they mark the time of birth, which again is arguable. Some people think the appearance of the head is the time of birth. Some people think that complete separation from the mother's body is the time of birth. What happens in a cesarean section? So these questions are there. Whatever it is, I think total separation from the mother's body is the time of birth. So once the umbilicus is severed and it is cut, you note the time down. Now, what is the guarantee that the nurse wearing a wristwatch is connected to the atomic clock? There's no such. So you have to find out the exact time of birth. Then you calculate, you use whether it is Tirkanidam, the mathematical way of doing it, or Vakyam, the Rishi Vakyam. Both of them, there will be differences. So in whichever way that you adopt, some portion of it is going to be in a gray area. You won't know exactly. So you know that the lunar mansions, that is the Nakshatra Mandalas, each Nakshatram is not the same. Although we reduce it and say each Rasi has 4 padams of the Nakshatram, each Nakshatram is not as accurate as 30 degrees all the time. You know, or the lunar mansions, if you divide 30 by 4, it is 7 odd. And that is not correct. 7.5, it won't be correct exactly. One will be short, one will be long, like that. So you know that approximations are being done at the very early stage. If you know the Panchangam, let us say you were born in Rochester, and after you know your date, you go into Drik Panchangam, DRK, Drik Panchang, and ask for the particular date, Rochester. What the planetary positions were, it will show you. And it will also show you the time or the nakshatra, the lunar mansion that is in vogue that day. And you can approximately calculate the Panchangam, the Jatakam. So it is important to know your Jatakam because characteristics can be identified through that. So at least an approximation is useful. Once you make the chart and if you take it to a professional astrologer, he will look at the planetary positions there and he will adjust the degrees where it is moved and where it was at particular time, at that particular time. So that's the way you do it. Next one.
Are there particular Rashis that are more suited to wear that diamond ring, or is there any particular number of stones to be there in the ring?
Can you please repeat the question? Are there particular Rasi that are more suited to wear the diamond ring? Or is there any particular number of stones to be there in the ring? It depends on each person's jatakam. You take it to a professional astrologer, he will tell you whether this is okay or not, or what combinations of stones you need to wear. There are particular rasis that are more suited, but only an astrologer will know those. Next question.
So the next question is, can the entire Rashi Mandala Puja be performed internally?
Can the entire Rashi Mandala Puja be performed internally? Absolutely. It will take you a couple of hours, but if you can maintain your focus and your concentration, most certainly it can be done inside. Next question.
So the next question is about puja. What is the purpose of doing puja every day?
So that you can become part of the mother, you can become the mother. That is why you do the pujas every day. And it becomes a exercise, a discipline for yourself.
Is there a certain point in our lives that we should be starting to do puja as like a daily practice, or can it be at any time?
What is this? Can you repeat the question?
So is there a specific point in like somebody's life, like a certain point in life where someone should start to do it every day, like as a regular occurrence to do puja every day, or can it be done at any age regardless of like the time?
Yeah, because I think I have a suspicion that this is going towards asking, isn't it enough once you start doing pujas after you're 60? To those people, I ask a question. Can you start eating after the age of 60? If you say that you have to eat every day, then you have to do puja every day. Next question.
Do pictures retain the same energy as metal vigrahas for at-home worship, and which is preferred?
Do pictures retain the same energy as metal vigrahas for at-home worship? Which is preferred? If you are very regular about your puja, vigraha is always better. But if you think that sometimes you can't do the puja, you don't do it and you leave, for such people, a picture is enough, good enough. If you have a metal vigraham at home, you have to do the puja every day. It is better. Whether it is a mental puja or whether it is done bahya puja, outside puja, every day it has to be worshipped. There's no question. Pictures will not retain the same energy as vigrahas. Pictures will retain the energy for a little while. And within about 8 to 12 hours, it will be gone from the vigrahas, from the pictures. Whereas metal vigrahas also will hold it, but if the proper installation process has taken place, it will retain the energy. Next question.
So going back to internalizing the Rashi Mandala Puja, what part of the body do you have to focus your concentration on when you're performing the Rashi Mandala Puja internally?
Is the next question?
So what part of your body do you focus your concentration on when you perform the Rashi Mandala Puja internally?
Because you should know exactly where where the different planets are located in your body, where the different parts of the Rasi are located. So you have to study it first before you can internalize it. Okay, so you have to, there will be, along with these notes and directions and all that, you will be able to download all the information that is coming with this. Now you see this Rasis in the human body. Siraha, Mesha Rasi. Siraha is head, Mukam, Rishabha Rasi. Bhaksha, heart, Mithunam. Hrudayam, Karkadam. Udaram, stomach, Simha Rasi. Kadi, waist, Kanya Rasi. Lingam, Vritti Rasi. Danud, Uru, thigh. Janu, knee. Knees, Makara Rasi. Gulf of ankles, Kumbha Rasi. Meena Rasi, Padam. Now, just like this, planets also are situated in various parts of the body. That information will be given to you, and you will have to memorize those two before you can attempt. Because every day you attempt it, you are going to think where the planets are. So you'll have to look at your horoscope and make sure that you are placing them exactly. This is the mapping in the brain of the grihas. See, thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, subthalamus, globus pallidus, substantia nigra, all of these, putamen, nucleus, all of these are there. And so on, you can map these. Each planet is there, and even at the DNA level, you can map the planets. So you know that there is a mapping in the brain. You can use this for the internalization, or you can use what is given later on, is coming given in the form of the DNA, the various molecules, the various sugars, and all those things are there. That is even finer identification of the body. Next question.
So some sacred rites or rituals have to be done at a particular age. For example, Upanayanam, if the rites cannot be performed at those times due to any restrictions, what is the alternative?
Due to restrictions, if they cannot be done at that particular age, even if it is a little late, it does not matter. You can have the thing like Upanayanam done at that age. You can do that. There are no restrictions. Although some pandits will say it is too late now, I don't think it is late at all. If an Upanayanam needs to be done, you can get it performed. You can do that. There are other rites like Karna Vedanam. Karna Vedanam is they pierce the ear. This is now a fashion to do it before the wedding. And back home, there is even a rite called Kadakan Putu. They will take, the bride's party will take earrings for the groom and then wear it on him. So, depends on the geography, depends on the area from where you come, the family where you come from, there are differences, right? So, when there is, obviously, Annaprasanam has to be done at a particular age. You can't have Annaprasanam at the age of 30, right? Karna Vedanam, yes. Upanayanam, yes. Anytime you can have it. Okay, next question.
How does one purify and prepare their mind before puja?
How does one purify and prepare their mind before puja? It means you'll have to start very early when you're bathing. Chant the Rudram, chant any of the suktams that you know, and prepare yourself while you're washing your body. You purify your mind by chanting Guru Paduka and Mula Mantra. So once you get to the shrine room and you are in the process of sitting down, your mind has already calmed down to a certain extent. Otherwise, it is going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes to calm everything down, to stabilize your breathing, your heartbeat, all of those things will come into play. So, slow meaningful japam of Moola Mantra and Guru Paduka. That is the one that you do to purify your mind before puja. Next question.
What is the significance of asanam for puja, and what material is recommended?
The significance of the asanam for puja is that it will prevent whatever energy that is being produced in your body. Usually it is by, like when you are doing mantra japam, there is a static charge being built. If you don't have the asanam, it will go into the earth. You must have an asanam, preferably a skin of a deer that has died naturally or a tiger that has died naturally. These days, that is almost impossible to find. Otherwise, you can have a dharma seat. See, a grass seat like this, with the dharma made into a seat. And this is most of the time the best for japa. You can, if you so desire, you can spread a silk cloth or a cotton cloth over this asanam and sit. Next.
Why do we do achamaniyam after certain upacharams like Deepanandaram achamaniyam, and what is the purpose?
Deepanandaram achamaniyam is done not for yourself, to the deity to whom you are doing puja. Because when you say Deepam, on top of the flame, Mahalakshmi is seated. After you have used her to show the deity, you have to calm her down. So you do achamanam for the lamp. Right? You have to do the achamanam because you are invoking all the divinities that are present inside your shrine room to help you with the puja. You have to take care of them also. You can't just use them and chuck them aside. Certain amount of respect has to be shown. And many people in other traditions our people have seen, they come and tell me they just pick up the lamp and it leaves a little bit of a gap in their mind. Why are they just picking it up like this without showing any respect? That knowledge that there is a deity there, that must be part and parcel of you when you are doing puja. Okay, so next question.
What is the significance of the rice that sits below the kalasham?
What is the significance of the rice below the kalasham? It is exactly the same thing as you placing an asana. It will prevent the energy from going into the ground. So you can use rice, you can use navadhaniyam, you can use unhusked rice. So many things you can use there. So that is the layer that is between the kalasham and the earth. Next question.
Can you explain the different types of aratis and the significance of Maha Mangala Arati in temples?
Can you explain the different types of arati and the significance of Maha Mangala Arati in temples? The different types of arati, what do you mean when you show various lamps and things like that? Yes. The purpose of showing 100 lamps, the first 100 lamps together in that decorative deepam, that is to show that it is the same energy that has divided into so many multifarious, such a numerous type of life forms. And then you begin to reduce. 16, then you go to, sometimes you will go to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are the different types. And then there are Vahana Aratis. Aratis for each of the Vahanas, vehicles of the deities. It usually starts with Ganesha and then goes on. If it is a Vaishnava temple, the sequence is different. If it is a Shiva temple, sequence is different. And all of these, after all of these are shown, you will show a single arati to the deity, saying that this is the one that has got all of these manifestations. And after puja is done, Mahamangala Arati is done to show to the deity and to the divinities that are there present that the puja is now over. Mahamangala Arati is done for that. Next question. Alankara Deepam, Sri Kundalini Deepam, Ashwaruda Deepam, Kurma Deepam, Vel Deepam, all of these have their own mantras and own mudras. You have to learn them. These are available in the temple in the form of a huge giant size. See Panchamukha Deepam, Siva Panchaksharam, the mantra is given below. Chaturmukha Deepam, Brahma Gayatri, Trimukha Deepam, Dattatreya, Dvimukha Deepam, Ardhanarishwara Mantra, Eka Deepam, Pranamam, 108, Mukha Deepam, Aksharamala. So like this, there are different ones. Then Vahana Deepams are there. All of these things are there. Nakshatra Mandala Deepam is there. There's a 27 wick lamp, which is also shown. This is Mahamangala Arati that is going on right now. Next question. Does one need initiation in order to perform Sri Sukta Vidhana Shodasopachara Puja to Devi, or can anyone do it? If you want to do Sri Sukta Vidhana Shodasopachara Puja, one of the reasons why they tell you is that you have to learn it under somebody is because Sri Suktam is from the Rig Vedam, it is Vedic mantra, and you have to be able to observe the rules concerning the Vedic chanting, like holding the Suktams, lowering it, going up, going down, all of those you need to. So you need to learn from somebody the Sri Suktam first. In our temple, the Sri Sukta Vidhana Shodasopachara Puja is standard for all the pujaris. And the Sri Suktam in our temple has the 16 syllables of the Mahashodasi infused within the puja. And to do that, you need initiation. If you want to do Sri Sukta Vidhanam Shodasopachara Puja without initiation, after learning the Sri Suktam from somebody, you can just plainly chant each of the stanzas and do 16 upacharas. Next question.
At what point should one start doing internal Shodasopachara Puja or homam at the Agnya Chakra?
You will know that yourself. There's no need for somebody to tell you, okay, you are ready for internal puja, now do it. That's not the way it is. When you feel that you can hold your concentration without slipping, even for one syllable, then you know that you are ready for internal puja. If you can hold your concentration at the Agnya Chakra, when you are doing the preliminaries for the Homakundam, Hadide Anumanya Swa, Anumade Anumanya Swa, those things. All that must be, you should be able to do it with proper concentration. Then you are ready. Next question.
For students who might have early classes, can Shodasopachara Puja be performed in the evening time?
For students with early classes, can Shodasopachara Puja be performed in the evening? Of course you can. That does not mean you wait till midnight. Midnight puja is for somebody else. And Sri Vidyam Shantamurtim, that Shantamurti will not manifest. Midnight puja is for Kali. Next question, please.
Just related to that topic, what's the latest time that someone can do puja? Say they're running late or they're a student who has classes all day, then what's the latest time before it becomes part of that Kali worship?
You want to tell me you have to do it before 10 o'clock or 10:30? No, that's left entirely to you. You have to make time for the puja and you have to stick to it. There's nobody who can tell you this is the time you have to do the puja. That is your choice. Because you will do the puja and stay, let me say, I'll say 9 o'clock is the latest you have to do. You will run over the time while doing homework or something like that. And you will say, oh, okay, it is 9:30, now it's too late. And that is setting yourself up for failure. Remember, you have to choose it. You have to choose the time and you have to create a discipline for yourself. Next question, please.
Can you enter the Sri Chakram or Meru through the top or bottom directions where Brahma and Vishnu reside?
Can you enter the Sri Chakram or Meru through the top or bottom directions where Brahma and Vishnu reside? Why do you want to do that when you have 4 proper and easy entrances to enter? Are you trying to be smarter than the directional deities? No. You have to follow certain protocols when you are worshipping the Sri Yantram. That is, you have to enter through a particular entrance. Amnaya Puja is what that is. So when you do Purnamnaya, Purvamnaya, you have to enter through the east, Dakshinamnaya, south, Paschimamnaya, west, Uttaramnaya, north. You don't bypass all these steps and jump to the top or bottom. Okay, you have to, with the Sri Chakram, the discipline, that kind of discipline is very important. Next question.
The next question is about lingams. Are there specific shrutis to be chanted on for the vigrahams that are made based on a specific pitch?
There are specific shrutis to be chanted on for the vigrahams that are made on a specific pitch. When you are chanting, when you begin to chant the thing, if your puja is proper and you're connecting with the vigraham or the lingam that is in front of you, you will get to know the pitch on your own. She will direct you to the pitch and then you can chant it. But you have to be super sensitive for that, which 90% of the people are not. Next question.
Can you please explain more about the elliptical shape of lingams?
The elliptical shape of the lingam that I was telling you about is about that point where the primordial explosion took place and we traced one ray of light escaping it. So there are trillions of rays of light that would have escaped that. We are just tracing one. And this point of explosion is not static, it is dynamic, so it is moving. And in primordial space, when there was nothing to break the journey, the locus of the light beam, if the point was static, it would have been a perfect circle. But that point is not static, it is dynamic. So if you trace the locus of a line, you will come by an ellipse. That is why the elliptical shape is there. Inside that ellipse is space, outside is space. So it satisfies the form. Unfortunately, I'm not a mathematician like Guruji to be able to explain that mathematically like that, but there is a mathematical explanation for that. Next question.
Can we worship Mavakal stone lingam at home?
Can we worship Mavakal stone? Mav is flower. So there are certain lingams. If you do abhishekam to these lingams, they will become misshapen. So my advice would be, if you have a Mavakal stone lingam, take it and put it in water and get yourself a Bana lingam. Set it properly and do the puja. Or get a Kriya lingam with black stone. Anybody going down to what is that place outside? Mamallapuram, Mahabalipuram in Chennai. You'll be able to pick one for you. There are dime a dozen there. If you can't go there, send somebody to Giri Trading, they'll pick up one there for you. They're available too. Next question. There's Mavakal stone lingam at home is not desirable. It won't retain the energy either. Next.
If somebody is interested in worshipping a lingam, they've been practicing puja daily, but they're living a grihastha lifestyle, what lingam is recommended for them?
A Kriya lingam made of granite. A Kriya lingam made of granite. In Colombo C Street, we'll have them. Go look for one. And once you bring the lingam home, at least one udrani of water with the Shiva Panchaksharam is essential every day. Next question.
Can we worship hollow vigrahams?
Nobody said you cannot worship a hollow vigraham, but if you worship a hollow vigraham, the energy will not stay there for more than 10 to 15 minutes. So what's use? What is the use? Next question.
Is there an advantage to mantra japa, homam, Sri Vidya sadhana versus doing bhajans, kirtan, or bhakti marga to help us become one with the Divine Mother?
One is not any greater than the other. Whatever that appeals to you, you should follow that. All of these will take you to her. Depends on which one you choose, so that your mind is less distracted. Next question.
What is the meaning of the asana mantra, asya Shri asana maha mantrasya?
Yeah.
I think they wanted to know more about the meaning of that mantra itself.
I think you should do a Google search and learn it. Prithivya Meru Prishtarishi. Prithvi is Bhumi. When I started this series, I talked about the asana mantra. So you can refer to the earlier classes of this. But this one, if you really want to know, the meanings that you get are not exactly what the whole meaning is about. You will get a portion of the meaning. That's about it. Usually, for mantras like this, there are two levels of meaning. One is outward, one is inside. The outward one is the one that you will find if you do a Google and look for this thing. Pandits will perform linguistic acrobatics using their skill of the language and explain certain things. The internal meaning is what you experience. That nobody else knows, only it is unique to yourself. So practice for some more time and then let me know what you feel inside. Next.
We'll do one last question. What is Shatchakra Japam and what is the significance of it? And can anybody do Shatchakra Japam?
Anybody can do Chakra Japam. Even if they are not initiated, you can just tap the petals and keep going without using the Bijaksharas in them. Right? Chakra Japam is to clean up your Praratva Karmam. Using the gift that has been given to you on this planet in this birth, the mantra that has been given to you as Moola Mantra, you will use that to ascend, Arohanam, and to descend, Avarohanam. Right? This is Chakra Japam, is a method of purification of the human body and Praradva Karma. Rest of it you have to learn from the Guru. Next question.
I think we'll end there for now, just because of time. Is that okay?
Okay.
Do you want to do? Yeah.
Yeah, stopped on time, correct. Okay, we'll continue from there next week. Next year.
Thank you very much, Ayya, for taking the time to answer all our questions today regarding the Rasi Mandala Puja and the effects of the planetary positions. Once again, our sincere apologies for the delay in uploading the materials to the website. They are available now for you to access. And please remember, to access all content from prior sessions, you can visit our Sri Vidya Temple website, which is srividya.org/AYM-lectures. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's session. At this time, we will hand it over to Vyasa Uncle for Ashtanga Yoga Mandir to begin our yoga session. Thank you.
Greetings to all of you all and my pranams to Karanaya. So we have been practicing different types of asanas for different types of requirements of the body. One of the most important things is that you will see in the sadhanas practices is that the body loves to, the system, the mind loves to do lots of sadhanas by nature. That is the beauty of our system. It loves, by inherent nature, it likes to go towards the divine. But what happens is because of the Rajasic and the Tamasic nature of the body, while the performance of the sadhanas are being done, sometimes it gets our system diverted. Body plays an important role in that, and the qualities of the bodies plays an important role. And even in the body, there are certain systems, certain parts of the body which plays an important role. So it is important that for us, the hip region, the thigh region, the knee region, the calf muscles region, the ankle region are all kept in its perfect condition, so that you are able to sit in your most comfortable position. You will see that in our day-to-day life, mostly like when you go on standing, like for cooking, for working, and we do a lot of standing based activities. When you go on doing that, based in case if the body does not have much required flexibility, or if it does not have the sufficient strength, the whole weight of your system goes to the pain, goes to the knee region, and from the knee region, what happens? That heaviness is stored in the calf muscles. So when you bring your legs to a cross-legged position, when you're doing your sadhana, you will see the calf muscles resistance increases. When the calf muscle starts to resist, it leads to a pressure in the knee region, where it first does an uneasiness. This is what is felt first. So we are doing the sadhana, uneasiness is felt. Hip starts moving, restlessness produces in the hip region. So like that, that whole body starts to go into an uneasy, uncomfortable position. So we will do a little bit of practices today to release that uneasiness and uncomfortableness. Those who are comfortable, you're welcome to come on the video on mode so that we can all practice together, and so that even others who are watching on Facebook Live, that they will ensure that their practices becomes perfect. So this practice is basically done lying down. So there are some seated practices also, but this practice is basically done lying down. So you will slowly come down the lying down position. You see. So the most of the practice is on the leg. Then you take your hands and then you come into this position. So this is your first position. And then you slowly bring your leg like this. So here what happens, the direction differs. So one, you get your toes to face the toes downward. The second is where you bring it to 90 degrees. So you can decide how you want to do, but generally you will see that when we do the practice, we do it on both sides. So you bring it like this, it is completely closer to the thigh, and then you slowly start doing this practice. So when you do this practice continuously for 27 counts, you will see this whole region, the tension, the tiredness, which is already stored. But what is most important, you will see this is your knee region, your feet have to be breathing up. Sometimes for some people it's very difficult. So in the early stages, you keep it down to the knee, or you may even keep it like this and do the practice. That's fine. You just have to continuously do this practice, and then from here, slowly you will come here, from here, you will come like this. So if you do this continuously for 10 days, you will see that there's a huge improvement, and especially you will see those who have static pain, the static conditions, or if they have pain or itching sensation in the feet region, when you sit, sometimes you appears in the feet, you see a so feelings of that nature, when you continuously do these things, that helps you a lot. So you will continuously go on doing the practice. And then after that, you will keep your hands again. Now you will do it straight. In this position, you will see that whether you are able to do that. Sometimes this position will be a little difficult, but still you can do a little bit of effort and then continue to do the practice. So you will go on doing the movement. You will do it for about 27 times. So we will just continue to do the practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So, and then now we go into the next side. So you will see, you turn to the other side, your whole body has to be kept straight, and then you bring your legs in this position. Just so you can even just try. So by naturally, when you bring the legs, it comes like this. Just see whether you can hold it like this. So you will see those who are having heavy knee pain, and Sometimes when they take certain medication for high blood pressure or diabetics and everything, there's always a natural concern is that the stiffness increases faster. Understand? So in that case, if your leg has a stiffness condition, then the best idea is to first keep the leg, hold it with your hand, just be like this. After that only you should go into the practice, because sometimes when you go into starting, this is a very basic practice, but because we will have people of different ages, different capacities and different potentialities. So that is why these are all being taught in the different basic stage to the advanced stage. So you can first be like this. If you are a complete beginner to yoga, then you just slowly start holding it like this for some time. Then you will know the knee, the hip region gets into a recognition that there is a movement which is going to happen. Because always it is important in yoga that you need to tell the system what exactly you are going to do. You cannot suddenly do halasana. You should not suddenly go to lingasana. Any of the asanas, you should not suddenly do it. You should go into the system and you need to inform the system that these are the practices. And after that, you will keep your hands like this, and then you will do 27 counts. And then after that, we will come into this position and then we will do. So we will start doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you are doing it, just observe the hip region. In case if any of you all, you have a hip concern, take your hand and give a support behind. You just start holding the hip region, because for some people, they may have an imbalance and they may start falling. So here the whole body is in the pause and the still position. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and then you can also just keep holding, just to feel whether you are eligible to go ahead with the next practice. So this is the first basic practice which you do in the yogasana to ensure that you are able to do the sitting practices comfortably. So you will see for your sadhana, most of the sadhanas, you will see that you will be sitting on the floor either in sukhasana or in padmasana. This is how you will be doing it. So if you want to sit like this, then what happens? You have to get used. So that's what we do, lots of asana practices to ensure that minimum 24 minutes that you are able to sit comfortably. And sometimes when you do, you can diagnose your system to say sometimes one is lifted up. But still, comparing to basic flexibility, there is always a 1-inch difference is always there from one side to the other side. That is always generally is there. So basically, you are able to sit in this position for 24 minutes. Or you come into Sukhasana and just try to see whether you are able to do in this position. Sometimes you will see that you can also come into some practices. I have seen some people in the Himalayan regions where you will see them, they will do the complete prayers, the sadhana meditation completely in this position, in the Gomukhasana. And then you will see in the in the tantric condition, they will be always seated in this position of the Swastika asana. So it all depends on what type. So you will see, like we do lots of asanas on Swastikasana, basically for the spine region, spine regions activations, and from here you do certain mantra sadhanas. These things are there. But if you are going to go into these practices, what will be nice is that if you can do the basic practices which comes under the Vittilasana or Ananta Sayana asana. So these are the first primary practices which is done so that you can sit comfortably and go ahead in your normal working times or for your sadhana. Thank you very much, and my pranams to Haranaya and all the wonderful members of the Sri Vidya Temple. And I also thank all the members of the Ashtanga Yoga Mandir and all the people who are observing these sessions via the Facebook Live. Thank you and pranam. We'll end the sessions with Shanti Mantra. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.